The market didn't take your motivation, you gave it away. And today I'm going to show you exactly how, and more importantly, how you take it back. Now I want to talk about something that came up in my group coaching this past week. Almost every single person in that room, whether it was high performers, experienced business owners and sales professionals, said some version of the same thing. I just don't feel motivated right now. The market is tough, things feel slow, and I'm struggling to show up the way I know that I should. And I hear that. I generally do because I've been there. I built my company to over 300 agents and $6 million in annual revenue. And there were seasons in that journey where the market was just brutal. Interest rates were high, inventory crashes, economic uncertainty, moments where it felt like the ground was just shifting under everything that we built. And I learned something in those seasons that I want to share with you today. Something that changed how I lead myself and how I coach the owners and sales professionals that I work with now. The market is not the problem. It's just a test. And motivation, real, durable motivation, doesn't come from the market being good. It comes from something else entirely. And that's what we're going to talk about today. All right, quick note before we start though. If you feel like your business or sales have plateaued and you can't figure out why, that's why I do free strategy sessions where we find the constraint together. Now, the link is in the description. Here's the hard truth that nobody wants to say out loud. Motivation doesn't disappear because the market gets hard. It disappears because your identity is attached to your results. And when sales are up, you feel good about yourself. When sales are down, you question everything. Am I good enough? Is this even working? Did I make the wrong choices? And that spiral, that self-doubt is what actually kills your drive. Not the market and not the interest rates, and definitely not the economy. Because I see this constantly. A salesperson goes through a slow month and suddenly they start pulling back. Making fewer calls, taking longer to follow up, avoiding activities that actually create results. And the slower things get, the more they pull back. And the more they pull back, the slower things get. It's this self-reinforcing cycle. And the cycle starts not with the market, but with the moment the salesperson or business owner lets their results define their worth. When you're outcome dependent, when you feel yourself is tied directly to whether you hit a quota this month or close that deal, you're one bad week away from a motivation crisis every single time. So the fix isn't motivation, the fix is redefining your identity, and I'll show you what that looks like in a minute. Okay, I want to reframe something for you. Most people think motivation is a feeling you either have or you don't. You wake up fired up or you wake up flat. And if you wake up flat, you wait around hoping the feeling comes back. That's not how top performers operate, not one that I've ever met or coached. Here's what I learned over thousands of hours of coaching business owners and sales professionals. Motivation is not a feeling. Motivation is a decision. It's a commitment that you make to your future self regardless of how your current self feels. The most successful people I know are not always motivated. However, they're disciplined. And discipline is just doing what you say you were going to do, even when the high of having said it has ebbed or gone away. So discipline is what carries you through the seasons when motivation runs dry, right? Think about elite athletes. Do you think an Olympic swimmer wakes up every morning at 5 a.m. excited to jump into a cold pool? No. They do it because they made a decision, a commitment that their goal matters more than their comfort in any given moment. The feeling follows the action, not the other way around. So in my company during the hard markets, I watched which agents kept their activity levels up and which ones, contracted. The ones who kept going, who made the calls, ran the appointments, stayed in front of the clients, well, they came out of those slow seasons stronger and with more market share than when they went in. Not because they felt great all the time, but because they showed up regardless. So what do you actually do when you're in the dumps and the market is working against you? Here are the 3 things I coach my clients to do and that I've done myself. When the market is hard, most people focus obsessively on the things they cannot control. Things like interest rates, the economy, what the competitors are doing, what buyers and sellers are thinking. And that focus is paralyzing because there's nothing you can do about any of it. The shift is simple but powerful. Make a list of everything in your business or your sales process that you can control completely. Your call volume, your follow-up cadence, your energy in your conversation, the quality of your presentations, how fast you respond to your leads, and things like your mindset walking into every meeting. Now make those your scoreboard, not your revenue number, not your close rate for the month. How many controllable actions did you execute today? When you shift your focus to action instead of outcome, 2 things happen. Anxiety drops, because you're no longer measuring yourself against things outside your control, and your results improve because you're doing more of the right things consistently. Next tip, when you're in a slump, looking at your annual goal or your quarterly target can feel crushing, right? The gap between where you are and where you need to be feels insurmountable. So just stop looking at it. Shrink the window. What does a great day look like? Not a great month, not a great quarter, just today. What are the 3 to 5 actions that if you execute them well, give you the best chance of moving forward? So my company during slow markets, I would tell my salespeople, forget the annual number. What does a great week look like, right? Does that mean 5 meaningful conversations with clients, 3 new presentations, 2 follow-up calls made? That's it. Do those 5 things every week and the year takes care of itself. When you're overwhelmed, the answer is never to think bigger. The The answer is to think smaller and execute relentlessly on what's right in front of you. And number 3, this is the one that people underestimate the most. And it's the one that I come back to personally every time I hit a hard season. When motivation runs low, it's almost always because you've lost connection to why you were doing this thing in the first place. Not the tactical goals or the revenue, the real reason why. The reason that you left a comfortable job or passed on a safer path. The people you're building this for, the life you're trying to create. Now, why don't you do something this week? Write down 3 sentences, not a paragraph, just 3 sentences to answer this question. Why does what I do matter? Not what you do, why it matters. Who does it serve? What does it make possible for them? And what does it make possible for you and your family? Now read these 3 sentences every morning before you start your day. Now it'll take 30 seconds and it will do more for your motivation than any podcast or any hype video or any pep talk because it's yours, it's personal, and it's your truth. Now if this topic is hitting home with you, then please hit subscribe so you get more of this content every week. And please share this with someone in your network who's going through a hard season right now as well. They absolutely need to hear this. I want to leave you with this. Hard markets don't create weakness. They just reveal it. But they also reveal strength too, right? Every slow season I've ever navigated in my own businesses and in the businesses that I've coached has shown me exactly who people really are when the easy wins dry up. Some people contract, they pull back, they get quiet, they wait for the market to save them. And some other people lean in, they get more disciplined, more creative, more intentional. They double down on relationships and they sharpen their skills. They come out the other side with more market share, more credibility, and more resilience than they had going in. So the market doesn't decide which one you are, you do. It's the statement, if it's to be, it's up to me. That's the tool I want you to walk away with today. Say it every single morning when you decide how you're going to show up. The business owners and sales professionals who win long term are not the ones who were lucky enough to only operate in great markets. They're the ones who figured out how to be excellent in every market. And that is the standard I want you to hold yourself to. Not I'll perform when conditions are right, but I perform because that's who I am, regardless of the conditions. So here's your takeaway. The market didn't take your motivation. Attaching your identity to your results did. And the way back is not waiting to feel motivated again. Return to your controllables, shrink the window, reconnect with your why. Do these 3 things consistently, this week in fact, and I promise you the feeling follows the action. It always does. And if you're in a season right now where something in your business needs to shift, but you're not exactly sure what that is, that's exactly the conversation I have in my free strategy sessions. We'll find it absolutely together. So the link is in the description. Book it this week. Also, hit like if this gives you something to work with, or subscribe if you want more of this content every week. And definitely share this with other business owners or salespeople who need to hear it right now. In the meantime, go out there and cause and create miracles. I'll see you in the next video.